Welcome to Türkiye. The only country on Earth that literally straddles two continents, where the Bosphorus Strait splits Europe from Asia, and where East truly meets West in the most spectacular way imaginable. For over 10,000 years, this land has been the crossroads of civilization. Empires rose and fell here. Religions were born, spread, and transformed. Trade routes worth billions passed through its ports and caravansaries. Today, this nation of 85 million people is a vibrant, chaotic, beautiful fusion of everything that came before. In the next 12 minutes, you'll discover why Türkiye has captivated everyone from Alexander the Great to modern digital nomads, and why it remains one of the most fascinating countries on the planet. Let's start with the land itself, because geography is destiny, and Türkiye's geography is extraordinary. The country is divided into 7 distinct regions, each with its own personality. The Black Sea region in the north is a world apart. Here, the Pontic Mountains catch moisture from the sea, delivering over 2,000 millimeters of rain annually. The result is a landscape of impossibly green tea plantations stretching across terraced hillsides, where workers in colorful headscarves handpick leaves that become some of the world's finest black tea. The Mediterranean and Aegean coasts to the south and west offer over 8,000 kilometers of turquoise coastline, dotted with secluded coves, ancient ports, and beaches that consistently rank among Europe's best. Central Anatolia is the heartland, a high plateau where wheat fields stretch to the horizon and the capital Ankara pulses with political energy. But the true geological showstopper is Cappadocia. Millions of years ago, volcanoes blanketed this region in ash, which hardened into soft rock called tuff. Wind and water carved it into a dreamscape of fairy chimneys, towering cones topped with harder basalt caps. Beneath them, early Christians dug elaborate underground cities, some descending 8 levels and capable of sheltering 20,000 people with stables, churches, and wine presses. And towering over the east is Mount Ararat, at 5,137 meters, where according to biblical tradition, Noah's Ark found its final resting place. This mountain alone has drawn explorers and believers for centuries. The history of this land doesn't just fill history books, it wrote the first chapters of civilization itself. In southeastern Anatolia stands Göbekli Tepe, the world's oldest known monumental architecture, built 12,000 years ago by hunter-gatherers who hadn't yet invented pottery, agriculture, or the wheel. Massive T-shaped limestone pillars weighing up to 20 tons, carved with intricate animal reliefs, arranged in perfect circles. This site single-handedly overturned everything archaeologists thought they knew about the origins of civilization. Then came the Hittites, forging an empire from their capital at Hattusa around 1600 BCE. These were formidable warriors who developed chariots and iron weapons, and in 1259 BCE, they signed the Treaty of Kadesh with Egypt's Ramesses the Great, the oldest surviving peace treaty in human history, a copy of which hangs in the United Nations headquarters today. The Greeks arrived next, colonizing the western coast. They built magnificent cities like Ephesus, home to the Temple of Artemis, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and Troy, where Homer's epic tale of war and heroes was set for millennia before archaeologists proved the city actually existed. Then came Rome. They made Asia Minor their wealthiest province, and when the empire split, Constantinople, modern Istanbul, became the capital of the Eastern Roman or Byzantine Empire. For over 1,000 years, this was the greatest city in Christendom, its walls impregnable, its wealth legendary. In 1453, everything changed. The 21-year-old Ottoman Sultan Mehmed the Conqueror breached those legendary walls with the world's largest cannons. The Byzantine Empire fell, and the Ottoman Empire rose, ruling over 3 continents, from Budapest to Baghdad, from Crimea to Cairo, for over 600 years. The final transformation came in 1923. Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, a military genius who had defeated the Allies at Gallipoli, abolished the Sultanate and founded the modern Republic of Türkiye. In a breathtaking series of reforms, he gave women the right to vote before France or Italy did, replaced Arabic script with the Latin alphabet, and dragged a medieval empire into the modern era within a single generation. Turkish culture revolves around one word that has no perfect English translation, hoşgeldiniz. It means welcome, but it's deeper than that. It's a philosophy of hospitality that treats every guest as a gift from God. You'll experience this everywhere, from village homes where strangers are invited in for tea, to restaurants where the owner personally ensures you've eaten enough. And speaking of tea, Turks are the world champions of tea consumption, averaging 1,300 cups per person per year. The distinctive tulip-shaped glasses are everywhere, clinking on silver trays in offices, parks, ferries, and bazaars. It's not just a drink, it's a social ritual, a peace offering, and a conversation starter all in one. The hammam, or Turkish bath, is another 600-year-old tradition. Enter a world of domed marble chambers filled with steam, where attendants scrub and massage away stress in a ritual that has barely changed since Ottoman times. Turkish carpets are not just floor coverings, they are art. Master weavers in villages like Huri create silk carpets with up to 400 knots per square inch, patterns passed down through generations, each telling a story in wool and silk. UNESCO has recognized this as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. And in Konya, every December, the whirling dervishes spin in a mesmerizing ceremony. White-robed figures rotating in perfect circles, one hand raised to heaven, the other pointing to earth, in a 700-year-old Sufi ritual representing the soul's mystical journey toward divine love. It's one of the most hauntingly beautiful spectacles you'll ever witness. Turkey commands the world's 19th largest economy, with a GDP approaching $1 trillion. Textiles have been a backbone for centuries, Turkish towels and linens are exported worldwide. But the real industrial powerhouse is automotive manufacturing. Ford, Toyota, Fiat, Hyundai, and Renault all operate massive factories here, making Turkey Europe's fourth largest vehicle producer. Tourism is another pillar, with over 15 million visitors annually. The defense industry has emerged as a surprise champion, with Turkish drones, particularly the Bayraktar TB2, proving so effective in modern conflicts that they've reshaped military strategy and are now exported to over 30 countries. The Bosphorus Strait itself is an economic marvel, one of the world's busiest waterways. 50,000 ships pass through annually, carrying Russian oil and global trade through the narrow 700-meter-wide channel that splits Istanbul in two. And anchoring everything is Istanbul itself, a megacity of 16 million people generating nearly a third of the nation's entire GDP. The Borsa Istanbul Stock Exchange, founded in 1866 during the Ottoman era, is among the world's oldest continuously operating exchanges. With a median age of just 33, Turkey has one of the youngest and most dynamic workforces in Europe, driving rapid urbanization and a booming tech startup scene. If you visit Turkey and don't gain at least a few kilos, you simply haven't done it right. Turkish cuisine is one of the world's three great culinary traditions, ranked alongside French and Chinese. Every meal is an event, and breakfast is the most important of all. A traditional Turkish kahvaltı is a feast for the senses. Imagine a table covered with small plates of white cheese, aged kazar, black and green olives, tomatoes, cucumbers, honey with clotted cream called kaymak, freshly baked simit bread covered in sesame seeds, and menemen, scrambled eggs cooked with peppers and tomatoes. The kebab is Turkey's most famous export, but there's far more than just the doner you know. The southeastern city of Adana creates a spicy hand-minced lamb kebab that bites back. Bursa gave the world Iskender kebab, thin slices of meat served over pied bread with yogurt and tomato sauce. Urfa kebabs are milder, perfect with sumac onions. Then comes dessert. Baklava from Gaziantep is protected by European Union geographical indication. 40 impossibly thin layers of phyllo pastry, each thinner than a human hair, layered with locally grown pistachios and soaked in syrup. Gaziantep's entire cuisine is so culturally significant that UNESCO added it to its Creative Cities network. Turkish delight, or lokum, has been sweetening mouths since the 1700s, and Turkish coffee, brewed slowly in a copper sieve over hot sand, comes with a ritual of fortune-telling from the grounds left at the bottom. UNESCO has listed Turkish coffee as an intangible cultural heritage, because it's not just a drink, it's 500 years of culture in a tiny cup. Turkey's landmarks tell the story of human achievement across 10 millennia. Let's start in Istanbul at Hagia Sophia. Built in 537 CE by Emperor Justinian, its massive dome was the largest in the world for nearly 1,000 years. It has been an Orthodox cathedral, a Catholic cathedral, a mosque, a museum, and now a mosque again. Across the square, the Blue Mosque answers with 6 soaring minarets, its interior covered in 20,000 handmade ceramic tiles. But the crown jewel of Istanbul's skyline might be Topkapi Palace, the Ottoman Sultan's seat of power for 400 years, where the treasury holds the 86-carat spoonmaker's diamond and a cloak said to have belonged to the Prophet Muhammad. Travel south to Ephesus, and you'll walk the same marble streets as Cleopatra and Mark Antony. The Library of Celsus, with its magnificent 2-story facade, once held 12,000 scrolls and stands today as a testament to Roman sophistication. The Great Theatre seats 25,000 and still hosts concerts nearly 2 millennia after it was built. Nearby, Pamukkale's gleaming white travertine terraces look like a frozen waterfall cascading down a mountainside, filled with thermal water that Romans believed had healing powers. At Troy, 9 layers of civilization are stacked atop each other, revealing a city destroyed and rebuilt across 4,000 years. And then there's Göbekli Tepe, the site so revolutionary it forced historians to rewrite the timeline of human civilization. Predating Stonehenge by 6,000 years and the pyramids by 7,000, its discovery proved that hunter-gatherers, people who hadn't yet invented farming, cities, or even pottery, were capable of organizing massive religious construction projects. This single site changed everything we thought we knew about the dawn of civilization. So why should Turkey be your next destination? Let us count the ways. You can have breakfast in Europe and lunch in Asia, crossing continents over a 20-minute ferry ride. You can float silently above ferry chimneys in a hot air balloon at dawn, with 100 other balloons painting the sky pink and gold. By noon, explore an underground city where early Christians hid from Roman persecution. You'll taste food perfected over centuries of imperial kitchens, walk through ruins where Western civilization was literally born, and experience hospitality so warm it'll change how you think about welcoming strangers. With over 500 blue flag beaches, meaning they meet the strictest environmental standards, 19 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, more than any country has a right to possess within its borders, and the only city in the world spread across 2 continents, Turkey offers a density of experiences that no other country can match. And the best part? Your money goes remarkably far here. A world-class meal costs a fraction of what you'd pay in Paris or London, and luxury hotels sit alongside ancient ruins. That's Türkiye, a land of 2 continents and infinite stories. A place where you can watch the sun set over Europe from a rooftop in Asia, where the past and present dance together in the streets every single day. If you enjoyed this journey through one of the world's most fascinating nations, subscribe to TrendLens and hit the bell icon. We release a new country documentary every week, each one taking you deep into the heart of a nation in just 12 minutes. Next week, we're heading to a country that spans 11 time zones, the largest nation on Earth. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and remember, the world is bigger and more beautiful than you imagine. Go explore it. See you next time.